Hi, folks. Welcome to the Moving On podcast. I'm Jay Norman. This is my wife.
Hi, I'm Jess Norman. Babe, you sure you remember how to do this?
Oh, I bet we'll figure it out.
You want to start off by telling them our brand new name?
I'd love to. We want to welcome y'all to the brand new Moving On Again podcast.
And on with the show.
Hi, babe.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing so good.
You glad to be back in front of a mic?
I can't stop smiling.
You can't.
I'm so happy.
I'll have to agree with that. You can't stop smiling.
But I am sitting on the floor and I'm staring at the bottom of your boot.
Well,
You're going to have to switch legs.
I'm just comfy. So, babe, what you been up to today?
Today was very eventful. This was the first day I started with a new nutrition coach. So running to the store and gathering all of those ingredients. We had run to Fort Worth for the past few days. So just coming back in, the suitcase is open and I'm food prepping and ran to the gym this morning and then did some girly beauty things with my lashes and my brows with Brooke. And so it's been a really fun day.
Yeah, you've had an eventful day.
Yeah, how about you?
A busy one. We took off Monday and get back in today, and I'm actually having a little knee surgery tomorrow, so I had a busy day trying to finish stuff up so I could be off the next couple of days.
Yeah, we were trying to record early because we have to be there so early.
Yep.
We're going to bed early, huh?
Yes, we are. We got to leave early.
Why do we have to be there at 5:30? I didn't think they even opened places till like 8.
I guess they need to get my big knee ready.
Pain in my butt. I am so frustrated. I don't like getting up that early.
Yep. So we went to Fort Worth this weekend.
Yeah.
We went to the Ranch Rodeo and back about a month ago before Christmas. We went to the NFR, and as per normal, we met a group there and had a big time and met a lot of people.
Yeah, y'all know my best friend Kim is out of Durango, and we spend all year talking about NFR and gathering our outfits and kind of coming up with our game plan. Usually we'll just kind of sit down to the table and decide what concerts we're going to go to and what shows we're going to go to. And we went into this without a single plan.
Yeah, we were just kind of loosey-goosey and
Yeah.
went every which way, and sometimes wasted an hour or two here, but we had a good time doing it. So we were kind of the last ones in, and they actually booked our room for us at the front. We all ended up on the same floor, all within 2 or 3 doors of each other.
Yeah. I thought we'd be in a different tower. We've never even stayed in the same hotel, so I had no idea in Vegas you could stay close to each other, and we got our 4 rooms across the hall from each other. So it was like a youth camp sleepover.
Yeah.
Could not have been more fun. So each morning I'd go to Kim's room, help her get ready, or she'd come to my room, help me get ready. Kind of decided what you and Jack were doing as far as if y'all were in the shower, whatever y'all were doing. And so this one morning, we hadn't really planned this morning. One or 2 days will kind of fall through the cracks. We just we run out of steam, And so I go to her door, and I'm wearing all brown. I can't remember exactly what I had on, but I had a lot of brown on. And she opens the door, and she's in full brown, and we lose it. Just squealing like, we match. Oh my gosh, we match. And I hear from behind me, y'all do match. And I turn around and I'm staring. It's like 8 a.m. And I said, sir, that is a walk of shame outfit. Like nobody is in a complete, like full blazer, nice starch jeans at 8 a.m. And he was laughing. He's like, it is not. He had a show he was going to go play. And so he said, are y'all doing anything this afternoon? We said no. And he told us where to go hear him play at 3. And so we all did. We went to the Cowboy Christmas, came out, looked it up on our phone to see where it was, and it was like right across the parking lot. We all went in there, and there was some shopping, and he was incredible. And not just incredible, but incredibly nice. He and his wife were so nice. And so they stayed on the same floor as us, and we ran into them a bunch more. We could pick up our phones and text them right now. It's just so funny how kismet it was for him to be walking behind us as we did that.
Well, and then he ended up playing somewhere that was really close where we were in the afternoon, and we got to go hear him play.
Well, and we didn't talk to him for very long, so I didn't know if he was the band's manager or Kim kind of felt like he was the singer from the first moment, and I didn't pick that up. I thought maybe he managed the band, and he ended up playing by himself. He's from Wyoming?
I believe so.
Wyoming, and his band was still in Wyoming. He was just a one-man band with his guitar, but he was incredible.
Yeah, really good.
And so every night before the rodeo, we would get dressed, and then we would do a cute little not get ready, but outfit of the night video. So there was this one night with Kim and I where we had gotten completely dressed and did our silly little video, and we were like, how should we finish it? And we hear the boys in the hall say, hi, Rick. And we were like, Rick. And so we call him in there to the bathroom. So there's a video on our TikTok and our Instagram, and we're standing there telling about our outfits, and Rick is standing in the back with his guitar. One girl was like, why is your new stranger friend in your bathroom? But that kind of stuff happened the entire time. It was just such a sweet time.
Yeah, and one crazy one along with that, we ended up where we stayed. We've always had a rental car, and we still did this time, but we didn't end up using it a lot because we rode the tram there. And so we're getting on the tram one night, and of course we're taking one of the many thousand pictures that we took while we were there. And we
You have
asked,
to tell who we found first.
well, you go ahead and tell it then.
Well, so we were seeing Mickey in the motor cars, and we found this perfect spot at this little bar in Vegas to watch Mickey in the motor cars with only like 40 other people. It was insane. And we got this perfect little spot with our backs to the curtain wall. Well, I look up, and there is a blonde leaning over Jay, talking in his ear. And I was like, I feel like I know her, but I'm not sure. And she looked up, and sure, it was Liesel, our friend from Colorado. She works with Pioneer.
Right. I've known her a long time through the seed business.
She's lovely. She's twin little boys, and they have ponies, and they're just the cutest little boys you've ever seen. So she had two of her friends with her, and they ended up staying with us the whole rest of the night, and we had so much fun with them.
And so we're leaving where we were at, Mickey Motor Cars, going back to
a piano bar
that we lived in basically while we were in Vegas.
Our home,
that was in the Harrah's.
Our second home.
Yeah, we went there every night, and we're in the train station getting ready to get on the train, and we asked this random guy, cowboy hat. This guy shows up. He gets the phone and proceeds to take pictures of who he think is us, but in actuality, he's messing with us.
He's
taking selfies, and then hands us the phone and takes off laughing.
So he gets done doing that and kind of walks a couple of steps. And usually when you do that to strangers, then you kind of go on your way. You walk down the sidewalk, you get on your train and go on. But we look up, and he's staring at nothing. Like there's nowhere for him to go but take a couple of steps over. And so I said, what was your plan? Like, what was your plan? There's no train for you to escape to. You are stuck.
No crowd to disappear in.
Yeah,
it's us and him.
Yes. And so I was like, did you not play the tape? Like, you don't seem like you had a game plan. And I was like, do you want to stand on the other side of the elevator?
And so he doesn't know my wife, of course, and he doesn't know that she's not going to let this go.
But I wasn't even the main one.
But you were a big part of it.
But was I the main one?
No, you weren't.
I was not. And so anyways, he's on the other side of the elevator, and we're all talking and laughing. Well, we get so tickled that we're physically laughing at this person that's like 10 feet from us on the other side of the elevator. We're like, are you still over there? And it was really quiet. And he's like, yep. It was so funny.
So the train shows up, and the door's open. There's only one place to go for old Dave to go, and Dave gets
and we're all screaming Dave.
Yeah, and so he gets on the train with us, and then has to ride with us for 10 or 15 minutes.
He's like, y'all go on this end, I'll go on the other, and we're like, oh, I don't believe that's what's going to happen, and we all just go sit right next to him. And so Cam was saying, like, Dave, do you have any social media, or do you have a way for us to keep up with you? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, wait, I just need to be a little bit more clear with you that she has 120,000 followers on Instagram, so this is not going to go well. And ended up, jokes on us, because he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, he looked all over Kim's page and her surgeries and her story from the past year. And his wife is named Amy, and she's so lovely. And he kept sending us these beautiful notes of how we thought it was this funny little encounter, and he's seeing God at work in her life. And just, he is the coolest. And we ended up seeing him the next night.
Yeah, I ran into him random the next night.
So we'll be
made a
friends.
friend forever. Yeah.
Well, a friend forever.
Yeah, we'll
he's
see
one
him
of
next
those.
year.
He's one of those
Right.
that you're lucky to meet.
Right. And so then two other people that we've actually had on our podcast before, but we had never met in person, we got to meet in person, and that was a pretty funny encounter too.
Yes, about 2 weeks before NFR, M. Sharkey texted and said she was going to be at NFR. And their schedule is so crazy. You know, they have to do their RFD TV booth. They have to sign autographs. Every day they were on the actual strip.
And just to clarify, it's Rob and Emily Sharkey and Shark Farmer. And Rob's he's a real famous social media guy, has a TV show and a Sirius satellite radio show.
Yeah, Shark Farmer.
Yeah, and just really, really great people.
Oh, yeah. Sorry I started at the end.
That's okay.
He has a Shark Farmer podcast and Sirius Radio, and then they have What the Farm with Leslie Kelly. And I've been on their podcast. Jay's been on their podcast. Cam's been on their podcast. They were so integral even in us starting our podcast. Rob was always one text away, so was Emily with editing and different things. And we really learned to lean on them when we started our podcast. And so we've developed these relationships for the past 5 years, but never seen them face to face. And so knowing that we were going to see them at the convention center, we just knew it was just going to be so special.
And so Rob's is about as big a joker and smart, as my wife is. We walk up and he sees them, and he has a whole plan of what he's going to do.
Yeah, he saw us before we saw him see us, so it was a completely planned ordeal. Jay stayed back and videoed so we'd have it forever. Kim and I walked on, and we're standing in front of him, and we think he's going to look up and his eyes will brighten, or he'll be so surprised to see us, and it's going to be this beautiful encounter and meeting. And he's signing autographs, and we're standing there, and he looks up and he sees us, makes zero expression, and looks right back down and goes back to signing.
And got him good.
It could not have been better. And so M tells us later that he had seen us coming and, of course, was ready.
Yeah, and so kind of a funny add-on to that, if you've listened to our podcast, kind of our big thing is drop the rope and arguments. And when Jess was on his show, she explained all that, and he's kind of taken that as his own
he says
deal in a joking way. And so when he was signing these papers to hand out to people, giving away his signature, and he signed "Drop the Rope" on there.
I'm going to frame it, put it in our studio.
Pretty awesome.
They mean a whole bunch to us, and they've been to hell and back this year with the loss of their son Ian. And to look at them face to face and see the strength in their eyes was just so moving.
Yeah.
I don't know what other word. You just kind of want to say anything or do anything that you can because we love them so much, and we saw what they've been through. So to just stand face to face with them and finally get to embrace them and tell them how much they mean to us and how much we love them, it was just really important.
Yeah, they had a really tough year, and just to be standing there and being able to smile and do what they do is pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're so strong.
Yep.
Incredible.
So before that, through pandemic, Jess didn't go back home a lot to Baton Rouge. She said just kind of the way it worked out, family wise and kids and stuff. She really hadn't, over the last 2 years, hadn't been down there maybe once or twice.
Yeah,
and
it's been tough.
Yeah, and so
just like everyone listening.
Yeah, and through our podcast too, we've always kind of struggled with holidays and what to do with kids and which family to go, because we both have big families that we enjoy. being with. This year, we made the decision Thanksgiving to split up. She was going to her mom's, and I was going to my parents. I had all my family was in, and usually we rotated around when my family was in. But
We
this
don't
year,
like to be apart.
yeah, we don't like to be apart. But this year, the way it worked out, and her not being to go, she couldn't miss, and I didn't want to miss mine either. And so I'd had an uncle that had passed away, and my aunt was going to be there, so I for sure wanted to be there. So we split up, and Jess goes home, and and I'll let her pick up the story from here because they ended up having a pretty crazy experience down there.
Yeah, it's not even something we really even discussed, Jay and I, and it's not even something we had to ask each other. We just knew it was what we were supposed to do. So it's almost like we had to find our big girl britches and big boy britches and just put the freaking things on and do it.
Yeah.
It was just something he felt like he needed to be at his mom's, and I felt like I needed to be at my mom's, and so we just did it. And sometimes we'll do these things, and if they go horrifically wrong, we'll pivot and never do it again, but sometimes we just have to trust that it's what we're supposed to do. So I took the kids down there. I asked Lily if she could get her little boyfriend to come down. I knew I wouldn't have my brother's children, who my kids are absolutely obsessed with their cousins. I knew with their holiday schedule that they would be in Arkansas, and so I knew if I could get Lily's boyfriend to come with us, that he would be full entertainment for Lily and Liza and Cash, since they wouldn't have their cousins or Henley and Hartley. And so thank the Lord his parents let him come with us, and it was just really sweet to have him there. He was so darling, and we had a really wonderful time. Our family is getting older and evolving, and grandkids are moving away. I've got one that moved to Waco, one that went to Baytown, Texas, one's in Brooklyn, one's gone to Nashville. And so where all 30 of us would just sit on the same couch in the living room, it's evolved like everybody else's family, and it's been really tough. We just are pretty obsessed with each other. And so we had a really nice couple of days, but when we got to Thanksgiving Day, there were just some circumstances where we weren't going to be together when we thought we were going to be. Yeah. And so it was just really tricky and really emotional, and we all kind of had to band together and be on our phones more than face to face. So my sister Kimmer, the reason I wasn't with her is she had gone to spend the week with her daughter in Waco. She's the best grandmother you've ever seen in your whole darn life. If y'all know Kimmer, you would know that about her already. So she was in Waco while we were down there. And we get through Thanksgiving, and we're all just having this nice, quiet nap and napping with the dogs and the kids and watching Hallmark movies. My mom gets a call from my dad, and you can hear the tone in his voice that it's not good. And he just immediately says, I need you to know, he gets real stern. He says, I need you to know that Kevin has fallen out of his deer stand. He is hurt, but he's okay. And my mom, you can just kind of picture her running in circles in the living room. She just went into absolute panic mode because of, this is our family.
Yeah, and your family tradition
it.
is for them to head to the hunting camp after Thanksgiving dinner and go spend the day.
Right when they're taking the last bite of food, the boys are heading to the camp. It is their, like NFR is our favorite, Thanksgiving night is their favorite. They skip to the woods. They're so happy. All the men are coming. They're all going to cook food and sit by the fire and play poker. It is their favorite few nights of the year. What's funny is I stood in the driveway and waved at Kevin for I waved at him till I couldn't see him. And I've never done that before. I've never waved his truck out, but he had done so much for my kids that morning, just brought over